Hey everybody, we're back with another NFL game preview and prediction video. This time covering the round one of the NFL playoffs, wild card round. We're talking about both the NFC and the NFC wild card matchups in this video here. And the first game, we'll start off with the Raiders taking on the Bengals. In this game, I got the Bengals winning, and I also have them covering the spread of -6. These two teams faced off earlier in the season, again in Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati won that game by they definitely won by over double digits, close to 20 points that one. The reason why I think the Bengals will do it again is their offense attack, especially with how hot Joe Burrow, this wide receiving core, including Jamar Chase, has gotten. They seem virtually unstoppable, especially when you add in the presence of Joe Mixon and the solid run game this Bengals offense has. Very tough offense to stop because they're pretty solid in just about every aspect of the offensive game. You see here at team strengths. Raiders, their real strength is their run defense. They're pretty solid on that, but their pass defense is so poor. And as you can see here, that's the strength of this Bengals team. So the Raiders, while they are a playoff team and they're pretty solid, they don't match up well with the Bengals, and they actually honestly got a pretty tough job playing them in the first round. Big X factor for the Raiders here, if they're going to want to have a chance to win this game, is Darren Waller, their star tight end. He's been hurt for the last few weeks of the season. Came back for Week 18, but played a very limited role. Still getting healthier. He's the real piece in this offense, along with now Hunter Renfrow, who stepped up in the slot receiver, but their passing attack is what's going to keep them in the game against the Bengals, and so they're going to need Darren Waller to really step up this game and play like he's 100% or close to it if they're going to want to win this game. Again, this Bengals X factor here is their defense. If they're going to want to win this game and not just rely on their passing attack, they're going to have to stop their passing game of Derek Carr and this Raiders offense, something that the Chargers weren't able to do, something that the Bengals will have to do, and something that I think they will do in their win against the Raiders. Next up, we got the Patriots taking on the Bills for the third time this season in Buffalo, where the Patriots won the first matchup against these two teams. I do have Buffalo winning this time around, but I think it's going to be such a close game that I like the Patriots plus 4.5 here. As long as there's not crazy weather like you saw the first time around in Buffalo, talking 50-mile-per-hour winds, snow, sub-zero temperatures, something that really affects the passing game of this Bills team, I think the Buffalo will come out on top. A lot of it too is because the inexperience of Mac Jones, quarterback of the Patriots, who I have as their X factor. This guy is a rookie quarterback that has been playing within the means of the offense. He's a game manager. You don't win because of Mac Jones. He just manages that offense and hums it along and doesn't lose the game for you. Whereas the quarterback for the Bills, Josh Allen, you win. The Bills win because of Josh Allen and his plays, along with their defense too. So I think Josh Allen, just give me him over Mac Jones any day. Team strengths for the Patriots, the running game, their offensive line. Bill Belichick's been doing this for years, building up his offensive line. He doesn't spend a lot of money or spend a lot of draft picks on running backs. He goes running back by committee. He knows if he establishes a good offensive line, just about anyone can run in that backfield, and that's what they're proving this season. So that brings me to the X factor of the Bills game. For the Bills, if they're going to want to win this game, they're going to have to do what they couldn't do against the Patriots in their loss, and is shut down the run game to the extent they can. This Patriots team does not want to pass the ball all that often with Mac Jones. They're going to try to run the ball early and often. If the Bills' run defense can hold up, then I think they're going to win this game in a good fashion, like you saw them do in New England. Again, this team strength for the Bills is their pass defense, but that doesn't matter too much as the Patriots' wide receiver weapons aren't overly scary, and Mac Jones is not too big of a threat play in and play out at quarterback here. So I like the Bills here to win in the tiebreaker match between those two teams. Here we got the Eagles playing the Bucs, which is, in my opinion, one of the most lopsided matchups in the wild card week one. You got potential MVP and obviously Tom Brady at quarterback for the Bucs facing off Jalen Hurts. Team strengths for the Eagles here as a run game. Unfortunately for them, they got a tough matchup in the first round where they're playing one of, if not the best run defense in the NFL with the Buccaneers. So that really, right off the bat, the Buccaneers kind of nullified the really one strength the Eagles have in their team, especially on offense, the run game. The X factor for the Eagles, if they're going to want to compete, let alone cover in this game, is Jalen Hurts, who I don't think is really going to step up that much. So that's why I'm taking the Bucs to cover 8.5. Jalen Hurts is not in the NFL because he's an accurate passer and can throw the deep ball with such precision. He's a dual threat quarterback, can do a lot with his feet, and that really helps his offense go. And that's part of the run game. That's a big strength of the Eagles. But again, the run defense for the Bucs, but these more importantly, the linebackers for the Buccaneers. Shaq Barrett and Devin White. These are two of the fastest linebackers in the NFL that are certainly as fast as Jalen Hurts. So if Hurts is going to be trying to move out of the pocket and gain yards with his legs, these linebackers will be quick to mitigate those gains that Jalen Hurts gets on the ground. And I think that, in addition to the lack of efficiency and accuracy that Jalen Hurts as a pocket passer, that's really going to hurt the Eagles this game and not give them too much of a chance to win. I like the Bucs here in a blowout. Here's a pretty good game, I think, as the spread implies, between the Niners taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys are one of the best teams and have been playing like it in the NFL, but the Niners are a very tough and scary team for any opponent. That being said, I don't think the Niners can win the Super Bowl, but I think in any individual game, they have enough talent and they play the right style of football to beat any opponent. Their strengths, their team, say the line of scrimmage, and by that, I mean their offensive line and their defensive front seven. The hallmark of this Niners team for the last couple of years has been they're going to run the ball a lot, and you're not going to be able to stop them. They're going to have a variety of run packages with a variety of different running backs and maybe even wide receivers like Deebo Samuel running the ball here too. But they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive run game as well as the defensive run game, as this Niners run stopping unit is a top 10 unit in the NFL. Unfortunately, it's their secondary, again, like as mentioned with the other teams, their secondary is the one that is kind of lacking in this defense, and that's tough for the Cowboys because their team strength is their wide receiving core, and I would include Dalton Schultz at tight end in that as well. Dak Prescott has so many different options to throw to. Even if you shut down Amari Cooper or you shut down CeeDee Lamb, someone else is going to be open. And they have so many weapons on offense, it's tough to stop them. This Cowboys team is very comfortable with not running the football and throwing it 50-plus times a game with Dak Prescott. They have no problem doing that, and I think that's probably what they should be doing in this game to try to stay away from like Fred Warner and that great defensive unit front seven that the Niners have. The Niners are going to want to compete this game, especially on offense. I think Deebo Samuel's the X factor, as he has been in this offense all year. He's just such a versatile weapon. He can do something. He's so fast, can do a lot in the run game. But as a receiver, he's so big and physical that it takes more often than not one defender to bring him down, let alone cover him. So if obviously George Kittle's going to be there in the passing attack, he's a tight end that really no one can cover consistently. But if you can add Deebo Samuel to that list of offensive weapons that you can get to consistently in this game, the Niners will have a chance. And the X factor for the Cowboys here, again, who it has been all season, is the rookie linebacker, edge rusher, Micah Parsons, who is just playing unreal for a rookie right now. And he can do everything. He lines up at linebacker, D lineman, even has some coverage snaps at cornerback sometimes. This guy really can do it all. And I would expect him to make a couple big plays in the pass rushing game, especially get in Jimmy G's face and force a few sacks, if not strip sacks this game, to really put the Cowboys over the edge of the turnover battle. So I like the Cowboys here. And if I'm going to pick them, I got to pick the -3 here just because their offense is so much more overpowered than the 49ers are. This game makes me laugh. I talked about the Bucs and the Eagles being a lopsided game. The Chiefs here favored by 12.5 points against Big Ben, who's on his last legs of the Steelers. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game, but I do like the Steelers to cover this one. A couple of reasons being this their team strength of the pass rush. You saw last season for the Chiefs, they really struggled against the Buccaneers. They were exposed against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl about how affected their offensive line was doing effective pass rush by that Buccaneers front seven. This Steelers defense is probably the best pass rushing unit in the NFL, with TJ Watt, who's tied or broke the sack record this last week. And then they got Hayward too in the interior D line that has a lot of pressure up the middle as well. I think that their front seven is strong enough, especially again the pass rushing unit. Everyone knows the Chiefs love to pass a lot. I think they get to the quarterback enough and give enough pressure and don't give Patrick Mahomes enough time where they can at least cover this 12.5. Another thing for the Steelers, they have a pretty solid run game. They're committed to the run. Najee Harris, they've been running him to the ground as a young rookie with not a lot of miles on his legs. And this, again, the Chiefs, the defense is the X factor for the Chiefs, especially the run game. You never know what defense you can get from the Chiefs. Sometimes they look great and they force turnovers. Other times they look horrendous and look like they can't stop any offense, no matter how poor they are in the league. I think Big Ben's savvy enough as a quarterback, as he was X factor, to recognize a lot of the schemes that the Chiefs defense is running, audible out of pass plays to do some runs up the middle that'll get big chunk plays, because again, this Chiefs run defense is really poor. But at the end of the day, Chiefs offense is going to be too much for the Steelers and Big Ben, who can barely throw the ball 10 yards down the field. I think the Chiefs win this game. But again, Steelers keep it closer, maybe somewhere in the single digits. Another divisional matchup in the playoffs here. Third time these opponents are seeing each other. The Cardinals taking on the Rams in LA, home of the Super Bowl this year. This game, The Cardinals and the Rams, interestingly enough, both lost in Week 18. Looking at the strengths for the Cardinals here, they got a really dynamic offense, a lot of weapons, even without DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver. Kyler Murray, obviously, incredibly dynamic at quarterback. With their running backs, James Conner, Edmonds this year have been great. Christian Kirk, AJ Green, Rondale Moore at wide receiver. Like, they have a lot of weapons to throw to. They can do a lot with a lot of talent. That's the strength they have. But the X factor here for the Cardinals, clearly Kyler Murray, who seems like the player he has been the first half of the season. And I've been saying this in a few videos. When Kyler Murray starts the season, he's fresh. You know, he hasn't taken a lot of hits behind this poor offensive line. He hasn't been running the ball 10 times a game, taking hits from huge linebackers. But at the end of the season, he starts getting worn down, especially that O-line gets worn down too. And I said in my other video, you see that against Week 18 against the Seahawks. Seahawks, who do not have a good pass rushing unit at all, sacked Kyler Murray 5 times. They had even more than they had about 7 tackles for losses. They were living in the Arizona backfield. And again, this team strength for the Rams is their D-line with Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. I don't expect these guys to be living in the Cardinals backfield, making life for the Cardinals O-line and Kyler Murray hell out there. The big factor, X factor for the Rams is Matthew Stafford. Hasn't played in a lot of big playoff games in his career, is known to turn the ball over in high pressure situations, and you can't really afford that in the playoffs. So as long as Matthew Stafford doesn't commit too many blunders in this game, and if the D-line for the Rams is going to outperform the Cardinals offensive line like I predict, I think the Rams win and cover this game, as you saw them do that last time these two teams played as well. And then so here's my pick straight up. Yeah, I'm picking every home team, every favorite this game. I'm not proud of it, but at the same time, I'd feel stupid picking just about any of these underdogs to win. The 2 games that I wouldn't be surprised if the away team won. The Patriots at the Bills. I mean, Bill Belichick's always got something up his sleeve in the playoffs. You never know what he's going to throw at you. Again, I think if the weather permits the Bills offense to play football like they're used to, the Bills are going to win this game. I think it is too much for Mac Jones. That Patriots offense is very limited by the rookie quarterback, I think. And then the other one, I could see the 49ers beating the Cowboys. I like the way the 49ers play football, the way they run the ball and control the clock and also limit the run game for the opposing team is very conducive for winning tight games. That being said, Jimmy G, who's got a torn ligament on his throwing hand, I think that is really going to hinder this team, and it's going to be their ultimate downfall. So I am taking the Cowboys, and again, every home team. Inevitably, one of these picks, or maybe more, will be wrong, but I cannot justify picking any of the away teams here. I think the separation between the pretty good teams in this league versus the poor teams in this league is too wide for me to confidently pick an away team for this week. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely like and subscribe so you can keep getting this content. Let me know in the comment sections what you think, who you're picking, who your Super Bowl picks are, whatever you want. I love interacting with you guys, hearing your playoff predictions as well. So definitely let me know about that in the comment section. One more thing before we end, our sponsors Prize Picks. If you sign up for the Daily Fantasy app and use our code PROPICKS, they will match your deposit up to $100. But that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you use this advice and knowledge that I gave from this video to enjoy the games and maybe even bet them as well. But good luck with that, whatever you do with this video.